Alright, y'all. Obviously, I'm gonna hook up to this trailer. But after I hook up to this trailer, we gonna talk about anger management. I definitely can talk about that. So let's hook up to this trailer first. Had to come back over here and get a trailer. I'm gonna tell y'all about this shit. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna tell y'all about this shit. Hold up. Hold up. I'm bringing y'all into my trucking life for real. Really, y'all know most of the story, to be honest with you, because I've been posting. Tug test. Alright, so I'm hooked up to it now. Matter of fact, let's go do our prerequisites. Y'all like my hat? Shit, Houston, Texas, they down, they gas station be having some nice shit. I got this hat. And I'm keeping it 100, baby. I'm gangsta shorty, know what I'm saying? So let me stop. I'm just playing with y'all as always. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold. Wait. Alright, come on, y'all. Let's hook up. Let's hook up and everything. Then we gonna talk about this shit. Give me a second. I ain't playing none of these games and every team. Give me a second. Let me hook up all this stuff. So, y'all already know glad hands. So obviously I'm getting my my empty back from the Budweiser I was at last night. So I'm just pretty much picking up another empty so I can go get this freaking load. Alright, so now I pretty much gotta roll up my landing gear. Let's get the landing gear rolled up. And then we gotta adjust them tanders too. Man, these landing gears be big, like especially in the summertime. So you gotta keep pulling on like this to get the shit to come out so you can roll it up or down. So this it's not all the way in this proper gear. So you gotta keep pulling on that joint. I think that's it right there. There we go. Got the one hand method, or one finger, two fingers. Do it like that, it go up so fast. Yo, y'all come to Houston, Texas, to the Budweiser in Houston, Texas. These damn guards, the yard jockeys, not all of them, but some of these motherfuckers got attitude problems. Y'all seen that shit last night? Like she was beeping and talking shit like behind me. And I guess we both, like when she finally walked up to my truck, like I said, she gonna have to pull up to me. Like we both calmed down because I was already pissed off with USA about everything else. And then I guess I probably ended up taking it out on her. Which that was dumb. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I be definitely having my bad days too. So that's why I said we're gonna talk about this. So when she walked up to the truck, like she was irate just like I was. But when she walked up to it, she said it in a more respectful way, and I got respectful too. Because at the end of the day, we both have a professional job to where you gotta be professional to the best of your ability. And I don't know her, she ain't do nothing to me. So for me to be ignorant or ghetto, it's no point to do that. I just blacked out for a minute. So I had to kind of come back down. Alright, so I'm just adjusting my tendons as usual. Let's see where we at. So I'm hyped, ain't I? Alright, so we are 1, 2, 3, 4. I know once I pull up, this shit gonna go about 2 poles up, especially if I do it fast. So I want to be like 6, 7 poles. Don't make me a difference. I can make pretty decent turns with that. But let's get into this so I don't take this video too long. But let me lock my tendons first. I know that went up about 2 holes. All right, I'm locked. All right, so anger management, like I said, you gonna come into this field green. You gonna come into this field happy, because obviously you just got your CDL, so you super ecstatic about just getting it in general. So I mean, like I said, a lot of times, especially if you already got anger management, trucking can sometimes enhance. It can sometimes enhance what you already an angry person anyway. I'm sorry, y'all. My lips are dry. And me, I ain't gonna front to y'all. I definitely had anger management before I even came into trucking. So I don't like playing the blame game anyway, but I'm not gonna further blame shit on the attitude that I already have for low tolerance of bullshit. So my thing is, when you know that you have anger problems to where your tolerance level for a lot of stuff is just not a lot, then you have to take time to, first of all, to acknowledge that you do have an anger problem, because a lot of people will deny a lot of stuff, and they deny anything. Well, it ain't my fault, you know, they keep doing this and that, or I ain't got no problem, it's them. Nah, I know I got an anger problem. So over the years, how I learned to deal with it, first of all, I learned to sit the fuck down. I learned whenever I'm just going through it and I'm about ready to just like throw them bowls, or I'm ready to cuss a motherfucker out, or I'm ready to do some off the wall lander shit, I'll sit down. Like, I will literally, because I have handle over myself to control myself enough most of the time to where I make myself sit down, and I'll actually sit for a couple hours, and I will let my thoughts subside. Because a lot of times what makes anybody feel any type of emotions is your thoughts. So human beings in general, they get like millions of thoughts or thousands of thoughts a day, and thoughts, they come and go. So if you just give yourself like a couple hours, maybe even 24 a day, just for your thinking patterns to change, for a new thought, to overcome this thought and that thought, sometimes you can change, you can let your anger just kind of, you know, it's this high and eventually it'll come down. So, I mean, you really have to just, don't be so reactive. Don't be so just explosive. Just learn to give yourself time to come back to. Because if you don't, you can end up in jail. You can end up to where you probably done killed somebody. You can end up to where you lost your job. Not even just something as simple as you can rush and make a decision out of petty anger, to where you think the grass is greener on the other side, and then when you get to the other side, you done jumped into a worse situation than the situation that you was in, that you thought was just so bad. So a lot of times what people fail to do when they get upset, or even when their mindset is not stable, they tend to flood their minds with stuff that's not real. And when I say not real, because emotions are never really, they're not 100%. Like, emotions is just up and down, to where it's no facts or logic to how you feel. It's more just, what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot the word, but you can't go by that. You have to try to go by the facts that you have. If you can't go by the facts then you really shouldn't go by just feelings. You need facts to back up whatever decision you decide to make. So a lot of techniques and a lot of counselors try to teach their clients this. When you get upset, just sit still. Even if you gotta close your eyes, leave them open, count to 10. So let's just say last night, I probably felt like I wanted to fight that lady. Instead of me getting out my truck and wanting to throw down with her, I would have just sat in my seat. Most likely, I would have closed my eyes. I would have closed my eyes, just took deep breaths, and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Within 10 seconds, you can be surprised how your emotions or whatever you're in can change. So give yourself time, and sometimes 10 seconds can be more than enough. And that's why I'm really kind of glad that I had my dog on the truck, because I'm an animal lover, and my animals are kind of a therapy for me, because a lot of times, you know, people can get on your nerves, people do some stupid shit, you know, they break your heart, this and that. But I guess that's why they can say dogs are a man's best friend. But really, they're a girl's best friend too, because I've had dogs pretty much all my life. And out of anybody that came in my life other than my kids, you know, my dogs always been loyal to me. They always show unconditional love. Even cats. Like, I love cats too. Like, you know, you get the unconditional love. So it's like when you angry and you upset, you got your animal that's like right there by your side, you know, jumping up on you, licking you. I mean, I don't like the licking shit, don't get me wrong, you ain't about to lick me, so get the hell down. But you just feel the love that can kind of take away the angry feeling too. So like last night, right? Yo, I was so upset. I mean, so upset. I was about to drive this fucking truck back to Bamboo in Arkansas and tell them to stick this truck up whoever asked that it needed to be stuck up. And I was really about to quit last night. But what I did was I rejected the load. I told them to take me off this heavy, cheap ass shit. So I didn't even take my empty that I brought in. I was so mad that I dropped the load right. Like, I ain't even dropped the load correctly. I pulled up on the yard and I just pulled in, unhooked, left the bitch there, and bobtailed across the street and sat there all night long just debating. Oh, and thanks to Brad OTR, cause you know, Brad is my good friend, and he gave me some really good advice, and talking to him actually helped me to kind of calm down. So I talked to him last night, you know, he gave me good advice, this and that. But now I'm back here today, having to pick up my empty so that I can get this load. So dispatch actually sent me a better load. It's not paying a whole lot, but it's better and lighter than the one I was supposed to pick up yesterday. So now, even though they got me this load, I don't have no pre-plans because it's still no other really good loads on the board. So I'm hoping that they can work out to where they can still find me something to where I can still have a decent week. Because guys, the loads on their board are so cheap right now that I can't even get my revenue to be even close to $3,000. That's why I said I went in the hole. Because a lot of times in order to have a good week, you need to revenue meaning like you need a total amount of, that's before deductions and everything. You need to revenue at least $4,000 and above to bring home what most people would consider decent. So if you're revenuing $3,000 and below, you pretty much either going in the hole or you only bring home a couple $100, which I could be a company driver for that shit. I mean, that's why I got mad. So, you know, I need my money to be straight. And how the hell can you build a good revenue when it's nothing on the board that you can piece together to make shit? That's why I got so upset. But like I said, you gotta have, not to say got to, but I'm trying to have patience, because this really just started for I'll say about the last month. But before that, you know, I was making good money. I was revenuing my $4,000 and above. So sometimes, you know, rates do go up and down. Companies have their slow seasons and this and that. And like I said, I'm not a fan of company hopping, but man, I got bills to pay. My company got to stay afloat. My home got to stay afloat. So I can't keep going through this. And I'm trying to be a loyal driver, but they have to be a loyal company too. So just the same way a driver wants to be loyal to the company, when the company know that they having downfalls like that, they need to find ways to compensate the driver in some type of way instead of just saying, fuck you, that's your problem. Well, you know, that means you don't care about me as a driver then. So at the end of the day, guys, when you out here in trucking, even if you home, because you can use this remedy even if you're not a truck driver, first of all, walk away, especially if somebody pissing you off. Like, you know, walk away. Go take a brisk walk. Go walk for about 10 minutes, because 10 minutes is more than enough time to change how you feeling. Or if somebody just won't, because a lot of times, especially men and women, like if a woman getting on a dude's nerves and he about ready to fucking just punch in the eye, before he do that, he'll walk away. But then the woman to get in his face, like, you ain't going nowhere. Come back here, move. You ain't going nowhere. And he be like, man, get out my face. I'm trying to tell you, you don't get out my face, something bad gonna happen. Get out my face, girl. And she's like, I ain't getting out of shit. Like, she just keep talking shit until the dude haul up like, pow. Like, damn, she was asking for that shit. I ain't saying the dude should never ever hit a woman, but some women, I mean, let the man walk away so he can calm down. And most likely, especially if he love you, he gonna come back and talk it out. But he needs to get out his anger state, because if you don't let the dude or even the girl get out of that anger state, some bad shit gonna go down. So like I said, take a walk, count to 10, you know, find a good thought, so that way you can replay the good thought over what you're thinking bad. That's called NLP techniques. Like, it's different things you can do to change your current state of mind. And read your word. You know, I can't leave that out. You got to praise the Lord, and you got to learn to be grateful for the good things you do have in your life, because where there's a good, there's always a bad. I mean, I had that backwards. Where there's a bad, there's always a good. And a lot of times you can reset and bring back your joy when you pull out your word, which is the Bible, and you read certain scriptures pertaining to your situation. And I've said this to one of my Instagram the ladies last night. I told her that, I was like, yo, you know, I walk by faith and not by sight. Meaning that faith is knowing without seeing that things is going to work out for you. But then you realize you don't have to always see it to know that the blessing is around the corner. So I'm really a avid person of that belief, that I walk by faith and not by sight, because there's a lot of times I didn't know what was to come, but what did come, because I believed and was grateful, it came. So yeah, man, you know, you gotta be grateful. So I think I took enough of you guys' time. I'll get back with y'all shortly later on today. Time is the essence. I'm making better time of it, and I gotta get on my grind as usual. So, all right, y'all, love every one of y'all. Let's love each other and not judge each other, because I never judge y'all, but I do be having my moments. And I had my moment last night, and like I said, I apologize for that rant, but I had to get that off my chest because I was going through it, and I'm still mad. But like I told y'all, I can't tell y'all something and then I'm not doing it. So I'm pretty much practicing what I'm preaching instead of just being a hypocrite. So all right, y'all, deuces.